Oh, welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, where in the last episode we found out that after finding those tapes that we've been looking for, that they may have been produced in a lonesome house back on the hills on King's Road.
Where to?
So we're heading there now. That's probably King's Way. So we're heading there now to investigate. Oh. Well, it's a nice house and all. We can climb up here. Alright. We got our axe. Alright. Axe at the ready. There's probably gonna be quite a few of those things that will jump at us out from nowhere that we've already seen last time. Yeah, we've also seen this particular scene already. I'm sure there's more of them out there. Not sure what that is. I'll take it. Mummy wrap fetish. Nice. Alright. Let's head downstairs. That thing on the kitchen table just explode. A fleshy ball. Yeah, I was always looking for a fleshy ball. Well, let's take the blood pack. Is there anything else here? Fancy ring. Well, let's go further down. Well, that's the entrance. We've also seen that. That's where we just came from. And we'll go further down, I guess. Doesn't look very inviting. What the frick is that thing? Maybe it's a Samish.
Hello, young K-Knight. I see your face is not so lifeless. Your nerves not so deadened that you cannot express shock. Tell me, child, is my appearance that frightening? Or is it my knowledge of you that is so unnerving?
Ah! The Sword of Cain!
Ah, you see the truth of things, don't you, child of Malkav? Blessed with your beastly visions, you are shown that the Sabbat are the only true heirs to the legacy of our Dark Father.
The Dark Father walks among us with scales in his hand.
Indeed, and I fear not his wrath nor his judgment. Can you say the same, Camarilla-Pon? The pathetic schemings of your new prince will not save you all from destruction.
It is you who made that terrible tape.
Oh yes, the tape. Merely a test. Certainly not intended to fall into mortal hands. Fortunately, we are in the capital of mortal trickery and illusion. So did the tape drive you to find me? From whence flows your longing, child?
Why do you haunt these hills, child of Cain?
To gouge out the eyes of the Camarilla. The sewers are clogged with my creations. I will kill or drive the Nosferatu from their pestilent nests. Without the sewer rats to guide them, the Camarilla will be blind to the Sabbat's designs.
This dark design will not come to fruition, false prophet.
Now, Camarilla whelp, let me see you fight your nature in the face of those who have embraced their beast. Deny yourself Cain's gifts, and be torn asunder by my minions.
The Angel of Death comes swift and furious fiend. Stop. Oh, he's over there. Right. Ah, stop teleporting away from me, man. Just die already, man. Ready to go. Is it dead? It's not dead, is it? Just left the building. God damn it. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything interesting going on here, so let's go further into the tunnels. Looks like a clipboard of an employee of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, spring 2004. Monday, 24th. Initial investigations into the report of strange sightings in the LA sewer started today. Enter quadrant 13. We'll move into both 14 and 15 later this afternoon. Quadrant 13 seems normal. Tuesday, quadrant 13 checked out, but heard unidentified noises at various points on both quadrants 14 and 15. Called into dispatch, confirmed that there were no other inspectors working in the area. There were none. Coordinates noted. Investigation into 16 tomorrow. Wednesday, strange noises, undoubtedly some sort of animal, heard again in quadrant 16. I saw what may have been the animal at the intersection of corridors 63A and 64B, but could find nothing upon further investigation. There were strange prints in the mud on the edge of the corridor, almost hand-like, although it was difficult to make them out in the darkness. Thursday, more prints found in the corridor of 73rd. They disappeared into what looked like an entrance into an older part of the sewers. Called dispatch to see if they had blueprints of the old sewer section, but they didn't. Requested advice on how to proceed, and dispatch told me to continue with caution tomorrow. Friday. Began investigation of the older part of the sewers this morning. Saw again what I believe to be an animal, although I didn't exactly know how to classify it. The skin seems bare, almost reptilian. I can hear it constantly, almost as it's following me, although the echoes down here make it impossible to gauge distance. Later that day. Can't seem to raise dispatch on the radio, so unable to check in. As a smell that has become more and more pronounced as I travel further into the old sewers, undoubtedly the carcass of an animal washed down here in the last big rain. Investigations continue. Even later, 11:31 a.m., found the source of the smell and it looks to be human remains. Immediately called dispatch, but was unable to reach them. Body seems to be that of a transient, but there are tears, massive tears in the flesh that indicate that an animal may have recently fed upon the corpse. I've noted the coordinates of the body and I'm returning immediately to report my findings. At 1:22 p.m. later that day, I've become temporarily lost in the old tunnels and repeated attempts to reach dispatch have ended in failure. The animal sounds I've heard before have begun to approach again and I fear I may be being hunted. As a precaution, I've unholstered my weapon. 5:30 p.m. Undoubtedly lost. I may have traveled deep into the old sewers. Something's following me. I know it. Can't reach dispatch. Battery's running out of my flashlight. God help me. Saw creature. Some sort of monstrosity. Teeth and blood. Can't get out. No more light. Can't reach anyone. Please, oh God, what is? The writing trails off spatter with what looks to be blood. Great. Once we found that fetish, you feel a rush of vitality. Increases passive healing rate by 20%. Oh, not bad. Feels like we're not going over here. Also, what is our chalice saying? It says 6. Okay. I hear you over there. Damn it. Seems like we could proceed from here, maybe. Alright. Let's do that. Or is there anything else in these small... No, that just circles back around into this room, I think. Probably would have come out here. There's a door. Another door here. Well, bit of ammo. There's a ledger and a newspaper. City Hall cover-up. Haunted sewers bricked over. Bodies never found. Ledger. This looks to be the weekly log of Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. 1972, okay. Reports concerning recent hauntings in the sewer system have prompted the mayor to request a weekly log of all operations in the lower sewer sections 453 to 500. Log begins today. Nothing to note, although I will say I find the stories to be unsubstantiated and ridiculous. Both investigative teams this week have reported nothing of note, although one individual, who may be apt to nip the flask more often than not, noted that he heard what could be only described as whispers in one of his sweeps along section 476. Undoubtedly, those were the product of an overactive and thoroughly soused imagination. Nothing to report, operations normal. Things have been hectic with the recent rash of sightings in sections 498 and 499, and are mostly described as shadowy figurines. The reports came from men whose word I trust. Discounting the usual stories about underground societies of displaced vagrants and blind pets, I'm at a loss to explain these observations. I'll join the teams tomorrow to see for myself what's going on down there. I've traveled with the team down into the section in question. I must admit I saw and heard things I could not explain. More than once I heard the same whispers as described before, and I chased what I thought to be a figure down a corridor, only to turn the corner and find myself facing a brick wall. It looked to be an older section of the sewers that had been sealed up. There was no one inside, although I could have sworn I heard laughter echoing in the darkness around me. I will be forced to report my findings to the mayor himself on Friday. The mayor has sworn us all to silence concerning these new sightings, but has promised us an answer concerning a course of action within the week. Inquiries about the previous LADWP records, which I guess it's Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, and reports have met with strange resistance. It seems they've been sealed off for official reasons. Something's amiss down here. Received word from the mayor today that sections 475 to 500 will be sealed off permanently, and no further inquiry into the matters will be tolerated. I have a few connections at the front office, and it seems that something like this has happened before. Something that the city council doesn't want to become public. My contact says that he couldn't say any more, and that if I said anything to anyone, he would deny any knowledge whatsoever. Sewer sections closed tomorrow, and the city engineers have bricked up the corridors that lead to them. This office falls within section 482, so it will be closed as well. As no one has requested the ledgers or materials and records concerning this will be left down here to rot with the ghosts. Sorry about that, but as no official eyes will ever see this, I figured I could walk dramatic on this last day. Log closed. I see. So something has been sealed off down here. However, this wall might have been sealed off at some point, but has been recently broken into. And we could take this opportunity to come back to the surface here. These are the regular sewers, not the old sewers we were just in a moment ago. Well, this one's locked. We could give Isaac heads up on what's happening. So let's resurface. Let's maybe find someone to get some blood back. Where the freaking hell are we? Opposite the restaurant. I see. So, Isaac.
Evening.
The fleshcrafter who walked with royalty is not so crafty now.
Exceptional. Come by in a little while. I should have something for you then.
I wonder something else.
Certainly.
What can my idle hands make playthings of in your city?
There is something, but it involves a gargoyle. I can see that's got your attention.
Tell me of the stone one.
It's taken up residence in my beloved Asian theater. It is closed now, but that's beside the point. I sent some people to evict it, and it sent them back with a few less limbs. I can't have that monster attacking kindred in my city.
How does one smash a stone?
It's a walking block of stone with a taste for blood. I'd suggest whatever method doesn't result in you being eviscerated. In truth, I'd rather have it as an ally, but I doubt it's going to be chatty. Here's the key for the theater. I'll leave it up to you.
I'll move this rock. I wanted something else.
Certainly.
What is your true Hollywood story, Isaac Abrams?
In your lifetime, unwittingly or not, you have seen an Isaac Abrams production. As the financier of 30% of American film's top 100 movies, you must have. Being the Baron of Hollywood, I can do any project I want.
What stars have revolved around you?
Stewart, Lean, Hitchcock, Wilder, Holden, Dean, Scorsese, De Niro, and last but not least, Ash, my child. I remember some studio suit lost in time telling me the only thing they could use Bogart for was to move furniture.
What of this one created by fire?
Ash. Where do I begin? 7 years ago, I saw a casting session for what would become Negative Zero. The moment I set eyes on him, the passion of his performance, I knew he had it.
Yes, yes.
I hadn't seen anything like him since Clift or Dean. He had the looks, the charisma, allure, that undefinable quality that makes a film legend. My first movie with him made him a sensation, and it also changed him.
Changed?
Once everyone knew who he was, I no longer did. The parties, the drinking, the sports cars, the women. One night when I came to discuss his next role, I found him nearly dead of an overdose. And I couldn't let him go.
So he was disfigured by your kiss.
I acted on impulse. I'd seen so many others die before their time, but with Ash, I had a chance to prevent that fate.
And did you?
It devastated Ash. He still wanted to act, but I denied him his place in the limelight. He had to lie to his friends about his new lifestyle. He had to feed. I gave him a club, a scrap of his former glory. I did everything I could to facilitate the change.
So your kiss left a bitter taste in his veins.
He feels obligated to me. I don't think he hates me. Resents me, maybe. I am his sire, and he is my child, and there is a responsibility and respect inherent in that bond, even if we are no longer the friends we were.
What fire can I find, Ash?
He spends nearly all of his nights in his club, the asshole. I admit it, too old-fashioned to appreciate it. To me, it's the compressed essence of everything that's wrong with the film industry today.
Well, one night I might find myself inside. I wonder something else.
Certainly.
What is the texture of velvet?
You've met VV, have you? Of all the kindred I know, she seems the most alive. She's still young, though, but nonetheless adept. She's not my child, but she's become like a daughter to me.
Alright, I'm gone. So we could continue our expedition to the sewers, which is one of the probably least liked parts of the game for many people. So let's... excuse me? Hold on. So we're supposed to go in here and deal with the ghoul. I, however, would like to talk to Maximilian Strauss beforehand, because in the Tremere Chantry we found this book that I don't have with me anymore, I think, because I kind of left all the quest items that we had at some point back in our apartment so that it doesn't clog up our inventory too much. But he had a book that also mentioned something about gargoyles. So I think we may want to have a talk with him about that. So let's go back to downtown. Since we're back in downtown, we might go to our apartment and all that, check up on Heather and all that. Also, I think we need to check our email for some message from LaCroix concerning the restaurant that we, well, review bombed into the ground apparently. Nope, don't close on me when I'm standing right in front of you. hope Heather got the message that we don't want her to bring any people back in here. Heather, where are you hiding this time, girl? Oh.
Master?
Not here. Alright. Then let's just check the emails. Tommy Flayton's review. I recently read Mr. Flayton's scathing review of the Cavaletti Cafe in the Sun, and I must tell you that I am exceedingly happy with his conclusions. You have done well. Please accept the payment I've left in your mailbox. We will no doubt be seeing each other soon. Alright. The cost of an attack is often paid later. Alright. Since we're here, let's leave some things here. Like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing with this fucking flashy ball. Well, let's leave the clipboard here. We'll ledge it too. Also got this autograph photo from Vivi.
Tatters and father dances in the dark.
Also gonna leave that here. And that too. And we got a computer book, but we need at least a computer ability of 4 to use it. So I'm also just gonna leave it here. I could just sell it because I'm probably not gonna be using it anyways. But maybe our computer will increase by itself and we might consider reading it at some point. So let's just leave it here. Alright. That guy probably went downstairs to watch the screens. Anyway, let's go to Strauss. Alright. No, that's where we found the book. Sir?
Hello, neonate. How can I be of assistance?
Might we trade words, Wizard King?
Of course.
It's acknowledged of gargoyles, the stone-skinned blood golems.
Gargoyles? Why are you asking about gargoyles?
Well, one haunts a theater in Hollywood. Tell me more.
What can I tell you about them?
Well, your eyes had a blood secret, Wizard King. Tell me of this blood golem.
Yes, I know something of gargoyles, and of this gargoyle in particular. I had hoped that he would meet his final death, but it seems my creation still lives to torment me.
So you fathered this fiend?
Yes. Many years ago, I created this gargoyle to protect the Chantry from our enemies. He was a faithful servant, and saved my life more than once. Unfortunately, he became increasingly upset about his role as my protector, and wished to be set free. I refused to do so. Finally, he stole away into the night, and I haven't seen him since.
I see. Well, Isaac Abrams has asked me to get rid of the gargoyle.
Isaac Abrams? His disrespect for the Camarilla is surpassed only by his hatred of LaCroix. If he finds out, it will be a source of great embarrassment for the clan and the Camarilla. He cannot learn that this gargoyle was my creation. Do you understand?
Well, I certainly have options to weigh, Wizard King.
You do that, neonate. If I hear that you have divulged my secret to anyone, you will never be welcome in this chantry again. Do you understand?
Well, I will speak no words against you.
Good luck, young one. When you succeed in destroying the gargoyle, return, and I will give you an appropriate reward.
Well, more knowledge needed. How do I destroy this demon?
With much difficulty, I'm afraid. Gargoyles are notoriously resilient. Their hides are made of stone. Firearms will be almost useless. Blunt force is the only thing they understand.
Tell me more of these blood golems.
What can I tell you about them?
Tell me more?
A gargoyle, put simply, is a creature that was created to protect the Tremere clan in the early years of our existence. They are very powerful, and not to be trifled with.
So they're created by the blood sorcerers.
Yes, we used our extensive knowledge of blood magics to create a race of protectors. They served that purpose well, but they have also caused many problems. It's a complicated issue.
And what color is this complication?
Well, many gargoyles still serve their Tremere masters, but a number of them have since rebelled and gone into hiding. They are a sentient race, but ultimately unfit for the freedom they desire. They need the guidance of their former masters.
Alright.
With much difficulty.
We already had that. Let's no longer here. So we need something blunt. A fire axe, although I do like the fire axe, is certainly not a very blunt instrument of war. So we might try to want to figure out how to get one. Since the last round is literally down the block, I think I'll also go and talk to... God, I always forgot her name. Damsel? Damsel, right? About LaCroix. We were telling her that if new information came up, we would share it with her. I think we could at least share the information that we're trying to find the Nosferatu and they have disappeared and there's some issues in Hollywood. You know? That kind of thing.
Heard anything?
Well, LaCroix wants that old box from the boat real bad.
It's probably just like the rolls of coffins or something. Lousy aristocrat bastard.
Well, many voices speaking loud, saying nothing more. Alright. I'm actually going to wrap up this episode right here because I'll basically just go back to Hollywood and I don't think that's very interesting to watch. Back in the next episode, we'll be back in Hollywood. We'll try to acquire a different weapon though, because the ones that we have right now are not very suitable to destroying a gargoyle. So we'll try and figure something out. And then we'll continue down the sewers to hopefully find the Nosferatu, but we'll see you that next time. Have a good one.